guys, welcome to another episode of True Crime Stories in the News. Now today I have a bit of an exciting story for you. The Ventura County Jane Doe. Her partial skeletal remains were found wrapped in a plastic bag in 1985. The remains were found near Channel Island Harbor, I believe that's just west of LA. And so they found these partial remains in a plastic bag. It's an older plastic bag that was used, in the 60s, 70s. It wasn't a newer, modern plastic bag. And they could never really figure out who this person was. At the time the remains were found, they could tell it was a woman between the ages of 35 and 50. That was all they could tell. And so that it's where this case has remained for a long time. Now in 2016, they sent the information to the NamUs database, and so that helped a little bit. They did a facial reconstruction, which was made and released, but still no new leads come in. In 2023, they submitted it to Othram, I guess is how you say it, Othram Labs in Texas. Now this is, they use forensic genetic genealogy mapping. And so that's what they do. They do genetic mapping, and they researched this case. They found relatives. They dug into this, and you'll be surprised who this person was. After all of these years, we finally know who those remains belong to. It was Gertrude Elliott Littlehale. That's a mouthful. But anyways, she was born she was born in 1864 during the Civil War, and she died in 1915. And her grave had been robbed in the late 60s or early 70s, and that's where her remains ended up getting disturbed, and they ended up finding them. So we have finally labeled and identified the Ventura County Jane Doe. She was Gertrude Littlehale, and she was born during the Civil War and died in 1915. So good job for the genetic mapping crew. That's a lot of intensive work. It's hard enough to try to map out someone's genealogy from the past few decades, but imagine trying to map it out all the way to 1864. That is quite impressive. So I'll attach some pictures here so you can see. I was impressed too with the facial reconstruction that they made out of clay. Most of the time those things turn out somewhat similar to the person, but when they pulled up the picture of Gertrude and put it next to that, I was shocked how good it was. It literally looks just like her. So I will attach those pictures to this video so you can see them, and stay tuned. I'll send you a new story when I hear something interesting in the news.